At early dawn, we came in view of the village of St. Louis. I was in my 19th year. That same year, I first visited these grounds, Tower Grove. I came through the bushes by a narrow path winding among the sinkholes of the commons to the elevated ground now called Grand Avenue, where a beautiful prairie extended westward, uncultivated, without trees or fences, but covered with tall, luxuriant prairie grass, undulated by the gentle breezes. All was prairie. I observed on a gently rising ground a clump of hazel bushes. 30 years later, the hazel bushes had disappeared, and in their place had grown up a grove of oaks and sassafras laurels. In 1849, this house and tower were erected, and it became Tower Grove.
By the time Tower Grove House, Henry Shaw's country home, was complete, he owned much of the surrounding prairie and farmland. From this house, Shaw managed his farm. In this house, Shaw planned his garden.
Dear sir, having a desire to found and endow a public botanic garden, I wish to obtain such hints and information as may be useful to me.
Missouri Botanical Garden.
Hortus Botanicus Missourianus.
Grew with all the constituents of a botanic garden. Systematic arrangements of classified plants, plant houses, an arboretum for trees.
Trees, one of the greatest sources of enjoyment that nature has placed within the reach of humankind.
Plants native to this continent. A fruitacetum for shrubs and fruit trees. And a botanic museum and library.
I am vigorously at work.
They say that one day, as Mr. Shaw escorted a visitor through the garden, identifying all the flowers they passed.
This is a monarch butterfly plant, or Asclepias. New England aster.
I cannot understand, sir, how you are able to remember all these different names.
Madam, did you ever know a mother who could forget the names of her children? These plants and flowers are my children. How can I forget them?
From prairie to botanical garden, Henry Shaw led the transformation. Botanical scientists gave advice, and hundreds of others, local laborers, newly arrived immigrants, and Shaw's slaves all got to work. They cleared fields and dug trenches. They cooked and cleaned for Shaw and his country guests. They built stone walls and paths, greenhouses and tool sheds. And they planted. Finally, 40 years after Shaw first saw the prairie, Missouri Botanical Garden opened. Henry Shaw died over 100 years ago, upstairs in this house. His shrewd plans, drafted in this house, ensured that his garden continues to prosper.
At the time of my death, to convey, for the use of the public, a botanical garden, easily accessible, which should be forever kept up and maintained.
St. Louis has changed since young Henry Shaw settled at Tower Grove. The garden has changed too. Even Tower Grove House has changed. But Henry Shaw's words still ring true.
A botanical garden is one of the greatest of temporal blessings that can be enjoyed by a people.
Welcome to Tower Grove House in Missouri Botanical Garden, Henry Shaw's gift to all of us.